Good evening, everybody, and thanks again to Destination Uri for this opportunity. Just going to give a bit of a roundup on the news or some of the events that are happening in the Camlough, Bessbrook and Dermore area. So I'd like to start off tonight. It's just a wee competition that Creve are doing. You'll see from the photograph that that's a picture that can be printed off. It's of a camogue, and what they are looking to do is for young people to print that off, colour it in. Once you have it coloured it in, send it back via message with the name of the camogue. So whoever wins the competition, along with the name, the camogue will be called. I'll just read you out a bit. Next week, and the newly named star camogue will then join the hurling star Bua in a story all about playing for Rua Oaks. So that's obviously a bit of work that's been done by the club itself. So people can, help with that. And, if you win it, then obviously your star is going to be a star. Okay, Creve also did a bit of a fundraiser there on Saturday in the village of Camlough. That was a street collection. And, just by all accounts, they did fairly well. And no doubt, they wanted to give a thanks to all the people that contributed to that. And fair play too, because it's a long day if you're standing doing the collection and all the cars whizzing past you. So fair play to everybody that took part, and no doubt, it was great that so many people made a contribution. So fair play to everybody involved. I'd like to then just reflect on what we all did, in many of our houses, and particularly with the clubs, the Gaelic clubs around the area last Saturday night. As everybody knows, and I already alluded to this last week, that was the anniversary, the centenary of Bloody Sunday. The day the Black and Tans, went into Croke Park and killed 14 with 13 spectators and one of the footballers. So anyhow, it was really, really good to see that's Caircroppin there. Really good to see the clubs all participating in this and lighting up their own club as a tribute to commemorate that particular event. We also had the Shane O'Neills, which is the next picture, and that's the Shanes on Saturday night. And then we also had Creve, the local hurling club, and they had their own particular tribute as well. So really, really well done to everybody. Fantastic to see that. Many of us had the candle lit in the window as well, so as they would say, at least we forget. So fair play to everybody. The interesting thing, and I found this really, really peculiar, that back in 1920, the counties that qualified for the 4 provincial championships were exactly the same as the ones that qualified in 2020. So in Dublin, for Leinster, you had Dublin. For Ulster, as you could see last weekend, you had Cavan. Munster, Tipperary. And Connacht, you had Mayo. It's just incredible, that they're exactly the same as they were 100 years ago. The other thing I'd like to mention tonight, and this is food appeal, Christmas food appeal that Shane O'Neills are still rolling out. I'm not too sure if I put the poster up, but anyhow, it's the club is open again tonight at 7 o'clock, and that's it there, yeah. 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, so an awful lot of people already have been down, and fair play to them. You'll probably see by some of the photographs, some of the food that's that they are hoping to collect. That's the sort of stuff that they are looking, and non-perishable, as you can see. All of that will be eventually put into parcels, and between the club and the community association and the network of people in the area, they will be distributed. So that will continue on for a couple of weeks. I think it's 3 nights a week that the club is open. So anybody wants to call in, just to leave in a few bits and pieces or a parcel, that would be very greatly appreciated, by everybody concerned. And yet again, fair play to both the club and to Camlough Community Association for organising that. I'd now like to give Brian Sloan a mention. This was an absolutely brilliant award that was given to Brian on behalf of, or by UEFA. And as people would know, the Brookfield United's club, it was started up back in the mid-70s. Brian was one of the founding members, along with Alan Black, and it's been going from strength to strength ever since. But anyhow, the good thing with UEFA, they do acknowledge and appreciate the people that are working on the ground, the grassroots stuff. So it was a silver um, award, silver prize winner in the best grassroots leader category. So Brian Clockray Parkman, I know his sons played for Brookfield. I know Kerry, the daughter, still has a lot of inputs into the club, and along with some of his sons as well. So absolutely well earned award. And fair play to you, Brian, and congratulations on behalf of everybody in the surrounding area. So fair play. I'd also like to, obviously, as people would know by now, we have an All-Ireland semi-final coming up this weekend. It's Armagh and Dublin. And again, as you know, a number of local club women are playing for the Armagh County team. Absolutely fantastic to see that. I remember probably the most exciting match I was ever at in my life was back in 2002. It was again another All-Ireland semi-final, Armagh against Dublin. And, obviously it was the year we won the All-Ireland. So no doubt the final was fairly exciting, but definitely not as exciting as that semi-final. That was just an unreal match. So hopefully it'll be a good match, a good exciting match. And hopefully, just like we did before, we'll come out tops. So fair play to all the women involved in that. And no doubt everybody will be tuning in to TG4 just to give them a bit of support. The match itself is being held in Breffley Park in Calvin at 4:30 on Saturday. So we'll all be there, not there in person, but certainly there in spirit to cheer them on. Okay, just another wee thing, as I mentioned before about the Christmas lights. Our plan, obviously we couldn't do what we usually would do and, have the whole Christmas event and, Santa and the elves and selection boxes, the music, the choir, the whole shebang. Unfortunately, that won't happen this year. We were hoping maybe to light everything up on the 11th, but we did think maybe we'll do it a wee bit earlier this year. I think most people in most areas are doing the same. The tree is up, the lights are on us. Just have to check that everything's working. I think by Friday, late Friday, early hours of Saturday morning, the final test will be done just to make sure that not only the tree lights up, but also the what they call street furniture on the lampposts as well, and all the illuminations. So once that has been tested, we'll light the village up at the earliest possible time. So it could be this weekend, it might be slightly after, but certainly will be before the 11th, just to let people know. And, maybe brighten the place up, given the unfortunate situation we find ourselves in at the moment. I'd also like to then give a few people a shout out for their birthdays. And first on my list tonight is a man that some people would say will never let you down, but that's a bit of a contradiction because he is one of the local undertakers. So that's Daniel Mallon. Let's see if we can get out. Yeah, there's Daniel himself with two of his youngsters. So local Bessbrook man. I think he's living in the Point now. And, so happy birthday to Daniel and hope you have a really good day. I'd also like to give a shout out to, this is two lads. The guy to the right of Connor and the guy to the extreme right. So the guy to the right of Connor, that's Adam Clements, young fella. That's his 18th birthday coming up very, very soon. So a big one for Adam. Unfortunately, he's not going to have the 18th that most of us would have enjoyed. So you can, as I say, you can have two birthdays next year. And young Dan, I think Dan's turning 17 fairly soon as well. So happy birthday to both of them. That picture was taken up at the lake up in Slieve Gullion. It was the day of the Twin Peak event. And that was one of the teams that competed in that particular day, in that particular event. And the next on my list is Sinead Mallon, young woman from Camlough. And you might get a photograph there, married to Niall Mallon. And that's Sinead coming up with the kids down, and I'm not too sure exactly which beach, but that looks like a very good beach. But anyhow, Mallon's 2020. So it's Sinead's birthday as well. Sinead's going to be a neighbour of mine fairly soon. So best wishes to Sinead, and hope you have a really great day. So folks, that's as much as I have for this week. Thanks again for listening and tuning in, and yet again thanks to Destination Uri. Hopefully this time next week I'll give you a shout as well. So again, any shout outs or any messages, just private message me. And again, with the most important thing probably at this moment in time that we're involved in is obviously the Christmas food appeal. So two things. If you have anything to contribute, just go on down to the Human Reels and please leave it in. And if you have anybody you think would benefit from this, just give me a wee shout and add them to the list. Okay, so slán go fáil agus é Hawaii.